the time, that was miserable, you know? Like, we moved Christmas break and went from sunshine to snow. And I cried the whole way. I was in 6th grade. I was not wanting to go. But from a basketball standpoint, it's probably the best thing that ever happened to me, because I went from, you know, trying to play Showtime, right? Like, I'm not Magic Johnson, but, you know, my game's never going to be around the back passes and, you know, scoop shots, stuff like that. When I moved to Iowa, I learned the fundamentals of the game. My first coach was my uncle, and he was a point guard, and he learned how to set up an offense and set screens and use screens, and, you know, the little tricks that I have to know now. I like to work a system, offensively, defensively, you know, the extra pass, setting screens. I grew up watching Magic and Larry and those guys. They're wearing these shoes, and that's the kind of game that they used to play. That's when I really started to love the game of basketball. It's like watching how they played. People say I'm a three-point shooter, right? Like, that's kind of what I'm known as. I think I bring more to the table than that. I like to be involved in the play, whether it meant, you know, knowing that, you know, my guy didn't sag off of me, and so Derrick Rose got to get all the way to the basket. Like, I take pride in that. You know, I take pride in making the pass. I take pride in taking the charge. I take pride in the small things, you know. I mean, shooting is what I do best. It better be what I do best, or I'm not doing, you know, I'm not fulfilling my role. I'm never going to be like a one-on-one type player, but I feel like I do everything else pretty well. And so that's kind of my game. What it means to be a role player, you know, I think when you're a role player that you know, that means that you are consistent. That means that you're there every day, putting in the work. I want to be at the end of the game. I mean, I don't care about being there at the beginning of the game. You know, coach plays the guys that he trusts. You know, and like that's when I'm normally in the game, and that means a lot to me. I think when you're young, you gotta really love the game. You gotta have fun with it. You know, there's a lot of parents, you know, like how should I work with my kid on three-point shooting, whatever. If you want to play this game for a long time, like, you have to really love the game, and so you don't want to get burned out when you're 10. You know, so I think for younger kids, the biggest thing is just have fun with it. Develop a form that you can be consistent with, and then just shoot all the time.